We have a newly provisioned site in front of us. It has a simple default site, and we can visit this default site by going directly to its IP address. As you can see, NGIX will route us to the default site. Now, in case I want to add a second site.com and add, Laravel Forge will create that site for me. In case I want to visit secondsite.com, it won't work, or there's no way to tell NGIX I want to go to second site without having a domain pointing to the server. Right, our second site is done provisioning by Laravel Forge, or it's created, to know the right terms. Alright, our second site has been created. Let's say I want to visit the second site. Let's try some crazy things out. If I go to the address bar and enter the site and go to, for example, second site, now it's actually going to the default site, secondsite.com. Alright, that doesn't work either because NGIX does not understand what you're trying to do here. Let's try two methods. One method involves using your local host file, and the second method is working with a browser extension. Alright, let's try the first method, which is my preferred method. Right, go to your local host file. Let's edit it with nano sudo nano /private/etc/hosts. Alright, you go to the end of the file, and what we will do is make a mapping of the IP to the domain you want to access the second site by. So let's say 164 is the actual IP of the server 38. Alright, second site.com, and let's save the file by Control Exit, yes, and save. Alright, let's see if we actually save the file. Cat /private/etc/hosts, and as we can see, second site has been added. Right, let's switch back to the demo server, and if we actually enter second site.com, hey, secondsite.com, we can visit secondsite.com without actually having a domain registered with a domain name server. So a quick explanation what's happening. When you visit the site, your browser checks your local host file first if there is an IP address and a mapping to a domain, and then it will actually use this rather than having to ask another service for its IP address. So this works. Let's try method 2. Let me quickly remove our mapping because we are going to try the second method. Method 2 involves using a browser extension. In this case, I will be using simple modify headers, but you can use any extension that allows you to rewrite the header of a request or a response. Alright, we go to the extension and configure it by entering the IP address of your server and add a wildcard at the end of the URL pattern. Alright, add a new line, and the field name should be host and the header value should be the domain name of your site, so secondsite.com. Alright, and let's save it, and don't forget to start the actual extension or else it won't work. Alright, and now you can enter the IP address of your server, and it will automatically go to secondsite.com. And if we, for example, turn off or stop the extension and we refresh the browser, it will go to default. So this one is pretty easy, but my preference is the first method because you can actually enter the full domain name in your browser, in your address bar, I'm sorry.